We are back on the Rational Boomer podcast. Hopefully your day is going well. It is Thursday, if you're listening on the podcast, but we're in the midst of a TikTok live. A little nervous about doing the TikTok lives with all these community guideline changes. I don't know what's going to happen out here. I know what I can say or what I can't say, but I know what the fuck you're going to say, and that's what makes me nervous. So cut me some slack here. If I get taken down, I don't have a problem with that so much, but I need this for the podcast tomorrow. And if this doesn't go well, then I got to do another show after I get done with this. So let's save Mike a little fucking work here, all right? Let's save Mike a little bit of work. So we're going to do the TikTok live, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, we've got the happenings down in Texas, which are a special kind of fucked up. We've got the Texas legislature, the Republicans, finally coming down to the point where they approved the gerrymandered maps. Part of me thought they might back off of it because of the threats from Gavin Newsom in California. They could pretty much cancel out anything Texas did. But I should know better. When you're talking about Republicans, they just double, triple down. They don't care if they're going to fucking lose. They don't care if they're going off a cliff. They'll just do it to own the libtards. Now, good luck. You started this fire, and it's going to get ugly henceforth. So Democrats seem to have changed their tact a little bit. They're not being the above-it-all people anymore. They're getting down in the mud, and they're ready to fight, and that's about what we need to have happen. I've been talking about that for a long time, that we need to fight fire with fire. And it's not until Gavin Newsom stepped up that people have realized that. So here we are. I've got TJ the plumber with me. He is a moderator. He's also a contributor on the panel. So TJ, what's up with you today?
Oh, not much. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. If you look at my face, you maybe notice my face is kind of red.
Out on Studio B.
I was out on studio. My wife went out shopping with a friend. I'm here left to my own devices. What the fuck am I going to do? I got in my boat. I went in the middle of the lake. I did some TikToks and just sat there and luxuriated in the sun. And I got a little sunburn. So,
well, I got bad news for you.
What?
You're stuck with just me tonight. I think Rebecca fell asleep.
Oh, well, that's fine. She needs her rest. She works hard. What the hell? That's all right. We've got you, and there's some other folks out here that will show up that will help with the moderation. I was just telling the folks before you came up, I'm a little concerned. This is the first live I've done since this announcement of the new community guidelines. So I don't even really know what to expect with this. I mean, I know the lines I can go, but we've got some motherfuckers out here, TJ, that might step over the lines. That's what concerns me.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't get taken down.
Yeah, you know, and honestly, the only reason I'm worried about getting taken down, because I've been taken down before, but when they take it down, I can't download the thing. Right. So then I have to start all over after this and do another fucking podcast. And that's more work. And you know, as well as anybody, I'm a lazy bastard. So I don't want to do any more work than I frickin' have to. I'm going to pull somebody else up here, and then we're going to talk about this Texas thing. You know this person, and I was on his live recently. Now he's on my live, Trucker T, TJ the plumber. My live, Trucker T, TJ the plumber. The big news, of course, today is the Texas voting for the gerrymandering of their maps. Seems pretty fucked up. It was fucked up in the first place. Now It's even more fucked up. Trucker T, welcome. What are your thoughts about what's going on down in Texas?
Hey, welcome, guys. You know, I was just thinking about you, Mike, and I'm not in the shower.
Wow.
Hey, are you wearing pants?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Thank God for that.
Okay, so I was looking at this lady from Indiana. She does all these TikToks. She really keeps everybody up on what's going on in the state of Indiana. So she showed how our maps were blue in 2008, and then how the red map project happened, and then it all turned red. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to figure out, this is where TJ comes in, because this is where it's a little tricky for me, right? So just because they changed the map, it doesn't stop people from voting. So how So what does that just give them extra seats?
Yeah, it changes. They draw the map in a way that, like, let's say you got Fort Wayne, okay? And I would imagine that overwhelmingly Fort Wayne is a blue area. So what they'll do is they'll carve the map in some ridiculous way. It's actually how my district is drawn. I have a city in my district, but I have a Republican that keeps winning in it because they put all this rural area in a drawn way that makes zero sense, right? So they'll carve out sections of a Democratic stronghold, and then they'll draw it so that there's more Republicans in that district in ways that don't make any sense at all. So inevitably what happens is they have a better chance of holding the seat, whether it's a state seat or a congressional seat, because of the way they draw the map.
Yeah, the thing that Eric explained to me too, though, is when you're doing this gerrymandering and you're trying to get more districts to be red, you have to carve away some of the red in your really strong held places. So if you might have a 20% advantage in one red section, you're carving away 3 or 4 or 5% to go into this new section to hopefully beat the Democrats. So if you're in a situation like we're in now, where all things are going to hell and the Republicans are fully at fault for it, it's something that could backfire ultimately. If you weaken the strongholds just a little bit, it may be enough to turn the tide.
Well, generally what they try to do is carve out areas that are super strong, like plus 16 or plus 15. They'll carve it down so it's like plus 8. So, and then that'll move into another district, which will move it from, they were minus 6 and now they're plus 2. But Eric's right. I know what you're talking about because I listened to it. Eric's right. That could be at their detriment depending on the political climate, because it weakens their chances in their strongholds too. So
yeah, it really does.
It could blow up in their face.
Yeah,
right. So that's
no
why
question
everybody
about
said that we would have to come out in record numbers in order to avoid any of that or work around it. Yeah.
Well, don't you think, we thought they might come out in record numbers in the November 5th election. I really thought they would, but they did not. A lot of Democrats sat on their asses. There are more people that came out in 2020. And I tend to believe, this sounds stupid, but I tend to believe that people have the attention span of a gnat. They aren't exactly that bright. We have a lot of dumb people in this country. In 2020, they were just getting over the hangover or just into the hangover of Donald Trump's fuck-ups. And somehow in the 4 years between 2020 and 24, they forgot about all the fucked up shit that Donald Trump did. So they just voted for him again because they didn't like the idea of a black woman being president.
Yeah, I call it voter amnesia because, and I honestly, I blame the Democratic Party for a lot of it because they don't bring that stuff to the surface when they do their messaging. So people have the memory of a gnat half the time when they, are talking about big issues and things that happen, and so they need to be better on the messaging. And that's what I really like about this whole Berenstein thing that's going on is that it's not going away. And Donald Trump is flailing because of it. He's flailing.
That's never going to go away.
Right.
You know what I think, though, guys? I think this is different. This time is different anyway, because I think people are legitimately scared because we've never seen this before.
Right.
And his tentacles, and I said tentacles, are reaching pretty much everybody right now. So I think it'll be different.
Well, that's exactly it. I heard something. I don't know if this is a true story or not, but it sounds about right. Somebody posted on X, somebody of note, and I can't remember who it is, saying that Donald Trump has announced that he's going to provide $14.5 billion to the farmers who have lost money in this trade war. And I started thinking about that. I was thinking, wait a minute. You told us that we were going to make all kinds of money and everybody was going to flourish with this thing. Now you're telling us you got to give them money so they can survive. And my thought about that is okay, where are you getting the money? And it has to come from taxes. So you and I have to pay for the farmers that are struggling because Donald Trump fucked up. So I don't understand, when we talk about waste in government, this is the epitome of waste. Where's DOGE when they're wasting this? And the last thing I will say about it is, the people who voted for Donald Trump, the people who believe everything he says, this sounds a lot like socialism. This sounds a lot like welfare. Do you really think you guys need welfare to survive this? I mean, you voted for Donald Trump, so why don't you just ride it out and enjoy the riches when it finally comes? Apparently, they don't believe in that.
Well,
No, they don't.
Ask the folks in Nebraska how that's working out for them.
Exactly.
Well, ask Doge
it's
how
not-
much does it cost for black paint to paint a fucking fence on one side because it gets too hot down in Texas and nobody can touch the fence, right?
Right. Yeah, it's.
Did you hear about that one, Mike?
No, I didn't hear the story. Go ahead.
So here's the story. Donald Trump wants the border wall painted black because he says that it gets hot in Texas. So the darker the color is, the hotter it gets. So if they paint the wall black, they won't be able to climb it.
Here's the thing. I think that's fake news, and here's why. Because what Donald Trump is talking about is essentially science, and we know science isn't a thing to Donald Trump.
Right. So that's why he had Christy Gnomes out there. But my thing is, okay, so you're going to paint it on one side, right? They don't climb on the side that he's fucking painting anyway. And number two, Mike, they have a thing, I don't know, called gloves. Are we just going to stop manufacturing gloves? Fucking idiot.
Well, I want to tell you guys something.
Manufacturing gloves? Fucking idiot.
Well, I want to tell you guys something funny about that. I watched the videos of them constructing that wall.
Yeah.
And I just laughed because I told Rebecca, I said, here's what's going to be funny about it. The sales on Milwaukee cordless sawzalls and cordless grinders are going to be through the roof because that thing is built so shitty that you can just take a cordless sawzall and cut the panels out of it. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I'm going to pull somebody else up here. We all know. I'm sure he's going to have some insight to what's going on. We have the analytical Iowan. That is Eric.
Uh-oh.
Eric, what's up with you and what's on your mind?
Oh, not much.
Well, thanks for coming. Yeah. Did you have to work today?
Yeah.
Oh.
You had to wear
Yeah, I had to sit on the boat doing fuck all today, so it was pretty rough for me too.
Yeah. Must be rough.
What are your thoughts about are you surprised by Texas passing this thing? I'm not.
No. And I was getting ready to actually do a TikTok on it when I saw you were live, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll jump on the live first, then I'll record my TikToks.
Good idea.
But no, I'm not surprised it passed in Texas. But what Republicans don't realize is, again, like we talked about on the podcast, they fucked up. Now they're the first domino to fall.
Yep.
California is going to redistrict. We've heard New York might redistrict. Illinois might redistrict. New Jersey and a few others. And there's more Republican seats they can get rid of than Democratic seats, or that the Republicans can do.
Yeah.
It may be for nothing anyway. They may take the House by 40 seats to begin with, regardless.
Well, that's exactly it. What we've been hearing about is how much the Democrats could do. 5 seats here and 5 seats there may not make a difference, especially if Donald Trump continues to fuck things up the way they are. The closer we get to the midterms, it may be even worse for Republicans than it is now. Let me ask you something, Eric and TJ and Trucker T. I hear these people whining on TV, Joe Scarborough this morning and some other people, Democrats, basically saying, well, what Gavin Newsom is doing is wrong. It's two wrongs don't make a right. He's screwing up democracy. So what do? We just let them continue doing what they're doing and let them screw up democracy on their own? I feel like it's time to get down in the mud and just do what they're doing. That's the only way we can fight with them.
Well, first of all, fuck Joe Scarborough. He is a worthless piece of shit. I lost total respect for him when he went and bet the knee down at Mar-a-Lago. That was the end of Joe Scarborough for me. But anyway, how long are we going to keep saying this over and over? Oh, we gotta take the high road. We can't do that. We can't do this. Fuck that. If they want to fucking play dirty, we need to kick them and punch them below the belt. And this is the only way to do it. And I like what Gavin Newsom said about it. He said, even if we change this now, we can reverse it later. And that's exactly what we should do. Because that is taking the high road, saying, hey, we're gonna level the playing field, which is what needs done. And then once it's over, they'll change it back so it's fair. That's the best thing we could possibly come up with.
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
it's Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we need to do this. The Democrats need to fight back. Like you said, we can fix it later, but if we don't start fighting dirty the same way the Republicans do, there's a reason why they're in the majority right now. You know, if Democrats played by their rules to an extent, you use your advantages, you district out some Republican seats, etc., and then you can, get ahead. Democrats could be in the majority forever. The problem is they let Republicans weasel back in all the time, and what they need to do is when they get all three branches again, they need to set it so they can't gerrymander any states. And once they make it fair in every state, Republicans will never be in power again anyway.
Right.
And that's what Republicans are scared of. They know they're not a majority. They think they are, but they're not. They're a very vocal minority of the people. In a lot of the states, they just have rigs to the point where it doesn't matter, and left-leaning voters won't come out and vote.
Well, had they taken up that bill that it was a bipartisan bill, I think it was, to stop gerrymandering and make it a law, they decided not to do it. So that's on them.
One of the things that bothers me the most is when I hear somebody like Joe Scarborough or some other Democrats that say, we don't like what Gavin is doing. It's childish. It's not going to work. It's not going to get him elected president. They don't understand what's going on here. We're not running anybody for president as yet. We have to take one problem at a time. And the big problem at this moment is Donald Trump. And in order to deal with Donald Trump, you can shame him for convictions. You can shame him for all the things he's done. It doesn't work. The one thing that does work is to embarrass him, to mock him, to make fun of him. So if that works, we need to do that to diminish his power, to maybe ultimately get rid of him. And then we can worry about winning the presidency. But 2028 is 3 years off. To suggest that Gavin Newsom isn't doing what he's supposed to do to run for president is fucking stupid. Let's focus on the problem at hand.
Could you imagine being a White House staffer right now? Gavin Newsom is blasting Donald Trump so hard, and they're in the White House begging Donald Trump not to respond to it. Begging him. I guarantee you they're begging him not to respond to it. And that's exactly, he's doing exactly the right thing. To attack him the same way he attacks, because he can't take it. He's probably sitting with his fucking Big Mac right now, slamming the ketchup bottle on the table, because he's so pissed off that he can't respond to Gavin Newsom.
Well, don't you guys find it interesting though? And I talked about this on another podcast and in the TikToks. Whenever somebody says anything to Donald Trump, whether it be, he could be under lawsuits by E. Jean Carroll, and he'll still say something about her. He's just ridiculous. He'll say something about her. Anybody that says something against him, it could be a big star, it could be a rock star, it could be another politician. He goes at them hard. That's his strategy. If they hit me, I'm going to hit them back harder. Hasn't said a fucking word about Gavin Newsom.
Right.
That is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're pulling the reins hard on him right now because they don't want him to make a fuck up. Because that's ultimately what's going to happen. Is that if he responds to it, it's going to be a fuck up.
And that's all Gavin is doing. Come here, man. Come here. Bring it in. Give me your best shot, and I'll fucking bury you. That's what he's trying to do.
He's baiting him over and over and over again, and Donald Trump is fuming. I know. I can guarantee you he's just steaming sitting there reading all this stuff.
Oh, without it.
Yeah, these people hate, a narcissist hate being embarrassed, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to continue to shove it in his face, expose the failures, which are many, and embarrass him on an ongoing basis. I'm bringing somebody up here, Gabrielle. Is it Gabrielle?
Yep.
Hey, Gabrielle, I've seen you in the comments a lot, so I said, I got to hear from this gal. What's up? What are you thinking about?
Hi, Boomer. I have to say I'm kind of fangirling here. You, Eric, TJ, Trucker, I feel like you're all my friends.
We are your friends.
And
Well, we are.
TJ and
We are your
Rebecca
friends.
live really close to me, so I've spoken to Rebecca on TikTok.
Where do you live?
Wow.
Generally, where do you live? Don't tell.
Buffalo, New York, so I'm right over the border from you
Okay.
guys.
Yeah.
And your social security number, what's that? I'm kidding. Just
Well-
Generally.
kidding about that.
Well, I have a question, but I was going to say in response to what you were saying that it seems like Donald Trump, he has a hard time fighting back against white men who are younger and better looking than him.
That's
I would
true.
agree. I would agree.
So, yeah, with women or, older men, I don't know, he has a lot to say. But my question, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Gabriel.
So, did any of you see what Stephen Miller was saying today?
Yeah. First
No,
off,
tell us.
I can tell you. First off, fuck that dude. He
Yeah.
said all of the people that are marching and protesting outside of D.C. are just white hippies, quote unquote, his words. And
Yeah.
it's past their bedtime. They're over 90 years old and need to go home.
Yeah, and J.D. Vance was gleefully looking on.
Was there a couch nearby or something? Who knows? Maybe he's a little
Maybe.
turned on.
Did you?
One of the
get
best
my
memes. One of the best memes I saw today was a picture of Stephen Miller, and right next to it a picture of a colorectal polyp, and it was amazing how similar they were.
Yeah, he's
They're
pretty.
like twinsies.
So my-
Yeah, twinsies, no question.
I sent TJ a video today. This is regarding the topic that we're talking about. JD Vance and Pete Hegseth was walking through the Capitol building today, and there was a guy out there harassing them, asking him, has he effed any couches today? It was hilarious.
I think
Oh, I saw that. He was.
that was in
Go-
Union. I think it was in Union Station.
Was that where
It was.
Yeah.
It was in Union Station.
How did TJ? Was that you?
What?
Were you
No.
the one harassing JD Vance? Because I can see you doing it.
It should have been me, but I was not in New York City recently, so no.
So, what are your thoughts, Gabrielle, about Stephen Miller? Yeah, he's kind of a creep. I mean, as a woman, would you see him sitting in a restaurant someplace and go, "That's a creepy motherfucker"?
No, he's pretty abhorrent. I don't know. I mean, he's the worst of the worst. That's about all I can
Yes.
say. He's terrible. I don't know. The worst of the worst that there is to offer.
So, you're in Pennsylvania? No, you're in Buffalo, New York. Okay.
Yes.
And what's the climate in Buffalo, New York? I'm not talking about the weather. I'm talking about the political climate in Buffalo, New York. Is it pretty blue, or is it more red?
Well, it's very gerrymandered, actually. We're trying to fight to get Nick Langworthy out. He is a little Trumpster, in all ways, shapes, and form. But there's a lot less Trump paraphernalia around, and than there was 10 years ago, 8 years ago. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty mixed.
Do you have any family members that are Trump uppers that you have gone no contact with?
Oh yeah,
Really?
Well, a cousin who he's out in actually Salinas, California. Who he went AWOL from the Marines back in the 70s, and he spent most of his adult life in and out of prison. So he's the only one.
Yeah, sounds like a great guy.
Yeah.
You don't talk to him much anymore, obviously?
No, not at all.
That's the one thing I've run into a couple of Trump-fucks recently, and it's amazing to me. And I'm not even saying this to put people down, but every Trump-fuck I meet has got to be the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met in my life, and they keep getting worse as I meet them. They don't really have any substance to them. They just say the buzzwords. They just say the same shit that Donald Trump says, and they've got nothing to back it up. I mean, if this was the best we had to offer in terms of Democrats, I'd be ashamed. I wouldn't talk if that was the best we had to offer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful. My family, we are, my immediate family, we are all educated and knowledgeable and blue. So we're thankfully I don't have many family members that are Trumpsters.
You know what the sad thing is, Gabrielle, is that when you say we're lucky that we don't have, I have a couple of members of the family that are Trump-fucks, and surprisingly, they don't really like to talk to me. But when we say with a certain amount of pride that we don't support Donald Trump, and when it comes down to it, if this was a real world and if this was a real time, all you and I and Eric and TJ are saying is, we're not special. We're just fucking decent. We're
Right.
normal human beings that actually care about other human beings.
Yeah,
We're not that great. We're just kind of the way you're supposed to be.
Yeah, we're average. We have compassion and empathy.
And they look at it as weakness until they get in trouble, and then they want the empathy. And I think that's hilarious because I'm expecting once this whole Trump-fuck thing falls apart and Donald Trump and all the other people that say, I didn't know, they aren't going to get much empathy from me. I'm not, I can't trust them, so I'm not going to let them close to me again in case
Absolutely.
they jump on the next goofball bandwagon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on your show tonight.
Thank you, Gabrielle. I appreciate it. Stay listening, and you're welcome back anytime.
Yes, thank you. Take care.
All right, thank you. You too. There's a lot of people out there that are looking for people that are normal and decent, and sometimes, depending on where they are, it's hard to find those folks. And it says it's not as if those people are special. It's just we're so far off base with Republicans that the decent people look special, and that's a sad state of affairs in this country. I got to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, you're onto something.
I was on a live right before this one, and they had an interesting topic, kind of speaking to what you're saying. They're now calling guys like myself, you, TJ, Eric, beta males, right? They're putting us in that category of beta males, and they're saying that we're the ones trying to take over the world, and it's insane.
I got to tell you, I don't subscribe to beta or alpha males. That kind of classification If I have to tell somebody I'm an alpha male, then I'm not an alpha male. I don't think those kind of definitions are really that important, but I will guarantee you this. Give me a Trumplafuck who claims to be an alpha male, put me in a room for him, and let's just hash it out talking-wise. I bet he doesn't think he's a fucking alpha male when he walks out, because his head will be spinning, because anytime you deal with a Trumplafuck, we're not dealing with the smartest folks. And they always end up getting embarrassed. They always end up kind of running away. They like to think they're alpha males, but I don't think they have a clue what that is or why it's even important.
Exactly.
No, they don't have a clue. I've been management off and on for various retail establishments over the years, and the number of times I've seen these so-called alphas chewing out a woman or a kid or what have you. And then, being a manager, I get involved, and suddenly their demeanor changes. I'm one of the nicest people I can be. A lot of people like when they see me get mad enough to start yelling, I scare people because they never see it. And just me walking over, they suddenly change. Suddenly they're very accommodating. You were just berating this poor kid in a lot of cases where this has happened, and now suddenly you're as nice can be. You only want to go after the people that you view as weaker, but somehow you think you're the alpha, you're the strong guy. You're not, because the minute you get around somebody else, you back down.
Well, it's funny back when I was in radio and I was doing traffic on the air, and my personality was pretty much the same on the air and that you hear here, because that's just who I am. I don't put on airs in that way, but. Whenever you get traffic, people want to blame somebody else for the traffic, so they blame the traffic guy. I had a guy call me up one time and said, "You tell Mike that I'm stuck in traffic and I'll never listen and I'll fucking do this and I'll fucking do that and you should be doing this and you should be doing that. I'll be doing this and you should be doing that." I said, "Chill, dude. I'm Mike." And he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And then he starts talking nice to me. I said, "No, you sounded upset. Please keep going." "Oh, no, I'm just upset because," "Yeah, but you were upset enough to keep going when you thought it was somebody who couldn't push back." I said, "Listen, you're in traffic. You live in a metropolitan area. If you're expecting no traffic, regardless of what I say, then you don't know what you're getting into. Move back out to the fucking woods, because you're going to have traffic here and you're going to have to deal with it and be an adult in the process." And this is what same kind of thing I see out of the Republicans. They don't know how to behave like an adult. They immediately get mad. And I know for me, and I'm seeing it with Gavin Newsom, the best way to handle them is to push back, because they're cowards ultimately. So when somebody says something to me, I'm not going to yell, because I don't do that sort of thing. But I'm going to say something to them. I'm going to make them think, and I'm not going to show any fear to these people, because I'm not afraid of dumb fucks.
Right. So before you bring up your next guest, can I ask you a question, Mike? About this whole Collier situation is really bothering me. Not because
That's bothering me too.
Not because she's African American. That is a factor, but how can they actually keep this woman locked up in a room and then threaten her with a felony for talking, to a reporter? What the hell, man?
They can't.
Yeah. I think the Republicans really fucked up in that situation. I mean, she said, "I'm being kept hostage," and they say, "You're not a hostage." So, well, then can I leave? Well, no. Well, she's a fucking hostage. She committed no crime. She did nothing wrong. They want her to sign a paper that allows them to have a DPS person around her 24/7. She said, "Look, I'm an adult. I'm a representative. I have constitutional rights. You can't make me sign anything that's not required for my job. And secondly, you can't put me in a room." I tell you where the Republicans fucked up. There's going to be lawsuits, the habeas corpus thing that she's put up there. But they took this woman, very, a middle-aged, younger woman, attractive woman. They took this little legislator from Fort Worth, Texas, that nobody ever fucking heard of. They made her a national celebrity. Watch her use that to her benefit and end up rubbing it in the noses of those Republicans who thought they were doing something. But this is illegal. and there's got to be some responsibility or accountability for this bullshit.
Well, I don't see how they can escape this because they're unlawfully detaining someone. It's a kidnapping. I mean, that's what it
It's
is.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's like they're committing a crime. So whoever gave the orders to do that, if they're not held responsible, they need. There's going to be big trouble because there's no way that this person can be held against their will in that office or wherever they're being locked into. And that's not a crime. It's a crime. And maybe Ken Paxton will try to push it down so that there isn't a prosecution. But I don't see how this goes away for them. They fucked up.
Well, and the thing about it is the idea that they come in and say, you can't be talking to the press in here or you're going to be charged with a felony, which is bullshit, which is a lie. But here's the deal. They can't hold her forever. Once the vote is over, they've got to release her. Then she's wide open to talk to any press all day, every day for the next 2 years if she wants to. And that's what she's going to do. She's going to take this celebrity and turn it into something. She should anyway. The Democrats should say, here's our poster child. Let's put her up there for the criminality of the Republicans. They should blast her everywhere.
In case anyone forgot, free speech and the freedom of the press is not a felony. So
No,
they can
it's not.
say that all they want, but the reality is it's not a crime.
No, it's not a crime. There was never any crime in the first place. When they took off to stop the quorum thing, they said they were going to arrest him, but there was no crime. They didn't arrest them. The funny thing I saw, though, which I saw somebody else question, there was Nicole was interviewed by some other rep, and he came in the room and he was talking to her and doing it for social media and whatever. And another African-American woman who's a TikTok creator said, wait a minute, are you a hostage too? If you're not a hostage, how did you get in there to talk to her? Did you get out? Or did you sign the fucking paper? There's a lot of people, most people signed the paper. They just bent the knee to the Republicans in that situation. Now, if none of them signed the paper, they would have had a bigger problem. But they just did what they were supposed to do, and that's bullshit. I saw one woman stand up and saw that Nicole Collier was getting all this press, this other rep, and she says, I'm ripping mine up, but you signed it in the fucking first place. That was stupid.
Why would you be so stupid to sign something like that? And now they're complaining because they're being followed around by these fucks. But you signed it. Why would you do that in the first place? It's a ridiculous notion to think that you would give up that and agree to that. That's stupid.
Well,
but it is.
They're following them around in grocery stores and shit like that.
Yeah.
Pretending like they're shopping. This is insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to pull up Shell in L.A. She's a regular person that shows up. Hey, Shell, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad.
So I have a couple of things I'd like to talk about. The thing that Trucker was talking about, the black paint, is actually true. And Christy, our friend Christy, you know that lady, she did a photo op painting the wall black.
Oh, man. Wow.
Because that's her thing. So yeah, she went right into that, and that's part of that $43 billion that was passed in the big beautiful bill for border patrol stuff. That's what they're using. They're also rebuilding the border wall. They're reconstructing the parts that went down, and they're now building the parts that they hadn't gotten to. And it's not just Texas. It's Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California that they're running this wall, that they're doing the construction of this wall. So they're going ahead with that, but they're using the money that they did in the big beautiful bill.
Hey, you know what's weird, guys? You know what's weird? I've throughout my years of being a plumber, I've built a lot of shit. And amazingly enough, none of it's ever fallen down. I don't know what the fuck they're doing out there, but they're not building it to spec.
I'm a stage tech. Sometimes we build walls to fall down and they don't fall down.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's that. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was Gavin Newsom here in California. He's getting pushback on this November ballot initiative because there's a lot of people, including the people that were doing the recall on Gavin Newsom, that cost California a great deal of money. So the people that did the recall are fighting really hard not to have the redistricting done. So it's not going to be as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's going to take some effort, and it's going to take some people getting off of their seats and getting their asses into the box, mailing their ballot, whatever they use as their way to cast their vote. They're going to have to do it. We're all going to have to do it as Americans.
Well, it's not surprising to consider the fact that Democrats might bite themselves in the ass, which is certainly possible. They've done it before. They'll do it again. I think the upside to this is he can get his 5 votes from Texas, but as Eric and I were talking about, we're looking at, maybe a 50 seat swing. So it may not be enough for them to win. They may pull all this shit and get all this bad publicity, but it may not help in the long run. Unfortunately, we have to count on Democrats to kind of pull us through this, and there aren't many Democrats that we've been able to trust. Politicians, and of course the Democrats that sat on their ass and didn't vote. There's got to be enough problems in this country where people do get up off the couch and actually vote, and all we can do is keep our fingers crossed and hope that they do that.
Right. And not just the politicians, but the everyday Americans, the people, the bread and butter, the Democrats they need to really get going and situate themselves too, because either we're going to be right back in the same position that we are now.
Now, Shell, you're a Californian, and I know a lot of Californians aren't necessarily fond of Gavin Newsom. What's your take on Gavin Newsom?
So I've always been one of those people that he wasn't my favorite. I have a thing for men who cheat because I always figure if you'll cheat on your wife, what's to stop you from cheating on your constituents? But I'm going to be honest with you guys. At this point in time, in this situation, I would vote for a box against a Republican.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
that's
I think what we have to understand that 3 years from now is a long time. And who's going to be the candidate for the Democrats, we can't honestly say. People could say, well, it sounds like Gavin Newsom because he's doing all this. My attitude is, look, if Gavin wants to do this, let him do it. And if he goes by the wayside later on, okay, that's no big deal. We got what we needed out of him. But Gavin Newsom is the one person that's doing the right thing. It's, as I was talking about before, Trump has got 34 felonies. He's got the classified documents. He's got the assaults and all that stuff, and none of that has made a difference.
No.
But doing what Gavin Newsom is doing and the file thing, that's making headway into Donald Trump's head. And it's messing with him and it's causing him to spiral. And that apparently is the only way we can get some movement here is if we somehow undermine or confuse or upset Donald Trump. So I'm all for continuing to do that.
I am too. And I think that the White House creating a TikTok, I think was partly in response to what Gavin Newsom's been doing the last few weeks. I think that was their effort. And I know there's 2 schools. Everybody's like, oh, block it, you're going to be on a list. I'm already on a list. I'm sure I'm already on a list somewhere. So I've been over there trolling, like thousands of people are over there trolling. And each comment that gets posted has like 10,000 likes on it.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of people are trolling there. I mean, I think they put out that, that term ratio,
and they're just
that term ratio. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. And
I heard that.
I haven't blocked it. I haven't posted on it because I I figure I'm probably on enough lists at this point. And there's just too many for them to grab everybody. And what are they going to do? Are they going to kick us off TikTok? Fucking going to probably do that anyway. So what the hell?
Yeah, eventually I think we're all going. I did have one more thing that I really was wanting to bring up. Have you guys heard of Graham Plattner from Maine? He's a Democrat.
Yes.
He's a veteran. He uses the F words in his commercials. Yeah, I already donated because I want him to win. It's Susan Collins, right?
Yes, Susan.
Yeah.
Collins.
That's who
I'm
he'll
so
be running
concerned.
against.
He's great.
Yeah.
His ads are already amazing. I love the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm 100%, and I'm going to start. You know, I'm not a millionaire or anything like that, but my disposable income is going to the Democrats around the country that are fighting the good fight.
Absolutely. He's a clam farmer or something like that, isn't he?
Oyster, yeah.
The guy in Maine?
Or something. Yeah.
He's a good
Oyster,
blue collar
I think.
guy.
What's his name?
Yeah. Graham Plattner.
Thank you.
Good name.
I don't-
Graham
I don't-
Plattner.
I donated to him too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm here for it, and I'm going to do what I can in every way that I can. I'm still able to go to the music festival. I'm still, I'm still doing that every weekend when I'm not working. So I'm trying. I don't know if everybody else out there feels the same way as I do, but I'm writing letters. I'm making calls. I'm going to the music festivals. I'm donating. I don't know what else. If y'all have anything else or any ideas, I'm open.
Well, and I think that's the important thing. People look at the whole problem and they say it's insurmountable. Little old me can't do anything. What you got to do is whatever you can do, and if everybody does that, we'll win this thing. So it's admirable that you're doing all those things, Shell, because that's a lot of work and still trying to make a living on top of it. So I admire you for all those efforts.
The advice
Thank you kindly.
the advice I give everyone is to go to your local Democratic headquarters and get involved with them, get on their email chain, show up for local events and state things with state candidates and everything like that, because all that stuff matters. Like, the federal elections are huge, but like your state and local elections are probably more important. So if you can get involved with your local Democratic Party, that's the best thing you could do and they would, give you the best advice of what to do next. So
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And as a union member, I'm already there.
right, good.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I've been getting this in comments and in the DMs and all this stuff. I'm hearing this name of this company that's the epitome of all evil, this Rockbridge Network. I tried to look it up. I can't find anything on it. Is this just something that somebody's put out there as another concept that we're supposed to be afraid of? Have any of you heard anything about this company called Rockbridge?
No, I've heard of Black Rock, but not Rock Bridge.
I haven't either.
I've got tons of people saying, it's not Trump, it's Rockbridge. And I'm going, I have not heard that from anybody. And, you hear it from one person, then it spreads like wildfire, and it may or may not be anything. I need to find out more about it before I'm going to go into detail about it, because I know nothing about it. It's the first I heard about it today. And I don't want to be looking at more things to make people scared. That's really what most of those things are. It's all bullshit, ultimately. Shell, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. I'm running, so I'm going to stay in the comments and moderate.
You're running? Thank you for moderating, by the way.
Yeah.
You're running?
Yeah.
Wow, that's, again, I admire you for that. You're far more motivated than I am. I might
God,
run
when
to the
you're 60
bathroom.
When you're 62, you could look at a potato chip and it's already on your weight.
Yeah, well, I'm 65, and I'll just eat the goddamn potato chip. I'm not even thinking about it. All right, Shell. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
I did a quick.
All right.
I did a quick sweep real quick on Rockbridge Group, and it's a conservative advocacy group led by JD Vance. So whatever they're doing is going to be good.
It's going to be
So
stupid.
absolutely useless. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pull up somebody hasn't been on the show recently because she's been all over the world, literally all over the world. Old Soul, welcome. I'm glad to have you on. It's been a while since we've actually talked, so I'm anxious to hear from you.
It's almost 4 o'clock. I was working today on like American time, PT time, and so it's like my hours are thrown off. But I saw you was online, and I saw Eric. Eric, I had a question. Did you see the the SNAP bill that passed in Iowa?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a bill. It's a
Okay.
waiver that they put in for with the USDA to not cover a whole bunch of certain foods. And they're cutting out a lot.
Okay, I got a
Spices-
list. Do
Go
you
for
want to
it.
hear
You
the
got
list
Go
of
for it.
which you can no longer get? Okay, so from what I saw, it starts January 1st of 2026. Yeah, January 1st, 2026, and then it's valid for 2 years. So then I'm not sure what happens at the end of the 2 years, but for 2 years, and I got a list. Y'all ready for this crap? Republicans
Do
just
it.
hate children and they hate poor people. So starting January 1st, no bottled water. I don't know what's up with that. No seltzer, coffee, tea, any other beverages that's not on the WIC approved list. Which the only thing would be, I guess, milk. No spices, seasoning, condiments, pasta, sauce, and no salad dressings. No olive oil, vegetable oil, and other cooking oils, including animal-based oils. No granola bars, protein bars, fruit and grain bars, or no more, and also no more trail mix. No macaroni and cheese, hamburger helper, ramen noodles, and other packaged goods. I don't know exactly what that means. Chips, crackers, cookies. No frozen prepared food. So I'm guessing like if you got like meat out of the frozen section, you can't get that anymore. And that's just like part of the list. I can't keep going on. So I have no idea what the hell people are supposed to buy. Like, I don't get the point of that. And Eric, since you're in Iowa, can you just kind of, I don't know, what are their minds around that?
Well, they're cutting out a whole bunch of stuff, and adding on to that list, they want to cut out like all your sugars, your flour, all like chocolate chips, any candies.
Yeah.
So you can't anything basically to make a cake, but you also can't buy a ready-made cake. No sweets, no treats. So it's going to be bare bones, basic, almost next to nothing food. What they're trying to do, I think, is make it so that, A, you can't get anything with food stamps, so you're not going to be on the program.
Right.
And they're also trying to say, okay, well, basically, if you're on it, you need to have a bread and water diet, basically.
Jesus Christ.
As
Yeah, I
meager
understand.
as meager can be. And with this 2-year waiver, Kim Reynolds is the one who put it into place, our governor. Now, I've made my feelings about her clear. I hate her about as much as I hate Chuck Grassley. But anyway, she's not seeking re-election in 26. Next year, or in 27, the following year, when there's a Democrat, I'm assuming, going to be in office, I don't know if he can back out of this waiver. So then
Yeah,
he's
that
going
was
to be
my
fighting,
point.
or she, whoever it is, the Democrat is going to be fighting an uphill battle like they did to Joe Biden for that first couple years of his term. As taxes started going up, Biden got the blame. So as this is going into effect and people are fighting with it, if he can't fix it right away, because I don't know how that loophole and how that all works, that Democrat is going to be stuck with it. It's going to be horrendous, but they don't care. They don't care about feeding kids. They've also opted out of the summer EBT program here in Iowa, which started under Joe Biden, where they would give people on EBT extra money per child that would be school age over the summer because they're not eating at school.
Right.
Because people need to feed their kids. Iowa said, nope, we don't want to give them the extra money. Instead, we're going to give you boxes of food, but you can show up and get these predetermined boxes once a month or whatever, and that's going to be what you get for your extra meals for the summer.
What the fuck?
And I have never heard exactly how well that went over. But they don't care about people being able to eat here in Iowa. At least the Republicans don't.
Oh, so
Yeah, when I was seeing about the
I'm just going to.
I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, just real quick. What's worse than that is that when the governor announced that, she announced that with a smile on her face.
Absolutely.
100% not surprised.
I don't agree with the food restrictions. Like, to me, that's just like cruel and like hateful, and it shows how much you hate children and poor people. But I was like, I get why they're banning sugar and flour and like chocolate chips and stuff, because they're like, we're banning sweets, but if we allow you to buy these things, you'll be able to bake and make your own sweets at home. So we're going to ban all of that stuff too. It is insane that they are doing this and just getting away with it. But I don't know if people know, but also this is going to be in Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Colorado, of course, Florida, West Virginia, Arkansas, Nebraska, and Utah. All of them,
Well,
same thing.
But the red states will get what they voted for. I'm sorry to say that there are kids and poor people that are going to suffer, but the red states are asking for this. This is how they want to live. They want to live as cruel and punitive. And there's not much we can do about it living in blue states or in purple states, because they're just going to go ahead and do this. It's crazy, but hopefully this will wake some people up and say, we don't want to vote for these motherfuckers anymore because they're trying to kill us.
Yes.
What do you guys think will happen with the snack companies like Doritos, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever? Do you think it'll be a big impact on them, or are people going to like, not put gas in their cars so they can, put snacks in their kids' lunch for school? Or like, I don't know. It just breaks my heart that I have to even like wonder what these children and their parents are going to do.
Well, certainly will have an economic effect, and that's something, since the Republicans don't think past the end of their noses, they're going to have to consider some big companies coming to them and going, what the fuck are you doing? So the bottom line is they're always going to make poor choices. There's always going to be ramifications from those choices and ramifications against them because they always screw it up.
Yeah, I was hoping that maybe these companies would push back before this went into effect, but they've already implemented it for January 1st, and these companies, they haven't given any pushback for it yet. So I don't know if they're just not going to care about it. I don't know, it's crazy.
Well, as long as you got people like Dwayne Skinner 781 in the comments saying kids need a Coke or a Pepsi, then most people won't care. And then you have these other ones saying, oh, they get to buy this and that, and I'm not on welfare and I can't feed my kids and blah, blah, blah. The kids are innocent at the end of the day, right? And what you said was very poignant, where, okay, sure, you can't buy the sugary snacks, but then you're going to prohibit me from buying the stuff to make it on my own, which is just, it's insane.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's ridiculous. I'm going to pull somebody else up here. Old soul, you stick with us. By the way, you're not in this country right now. You're overseas, right?
Yeah. I'll be back. Well, it's 4 a.m. here almost. So, yeah, it'll be tonight, actually. This went by quick. But, yeah, it'll be tonight on American time zone.
Okay. So when are you coming back here, though? Tonight?
Yeah, it'll be tonight at you guys' time. But my flight will be like towards, I guess, like Friday night in America time. I don't know, my time zones is mixed up. But that's what I'm thinking, Friday night American time zone.
Okay. Well, when you get back, contact me and we'll get you on the show because I know people have been anxious to hear from you.
Yeah, I told my honey that you like the pictures of the girls, and he was like, oh, wow. I was like, yeah.
The pictures of the girls were adorable. Now that I'm a girl grandpa, I love the girl kids. They're just awesome.
Yeah.
My son is mad at me because I'm buying her all kinds of shit. And when my grandson gets old enough to do stuff, I'm going to buy him a bunch of shit too. And whether my son likes it or my daughter likes it or not, I'm fucking doing it. Doesn't matter. But yeah, they were adorable. And I'm glad you had a good time and a safe time, and looking forward to you getting back here.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. I'll tell you that. It's very embarrassing to travel. It was like the same thing when I traveled during COVID. There's so many people, like, they hear your accent and they're like, "Oh, you're an American," and it is so embarrassing, the questions that they ask, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I can imagine. When we get you on the show, I want to explore that a little bit more, because it feels, I'm thinking you're going all these different places and everybody thinks you're a dumbass because you come from a dumbass country. We're not all dumbasses, just 49% of us. I'm gonna pull up Nana Sandra. Let's see if she pops up here. Hey, Nana Sandra, how you doing?
Yes, hi. I wasn't expecting to go up. I'm actually on my what is it? My treadmill, and so I'm just listening. I'm enjoying listening to you guys. I'm learning a lot.
Nana Sandra, this is getting a bit much. I got Shell running and jogging, and you on a treadmill, and I'm here sitting on my ass in front of a desk.
Hey,
And
when you get to be
exercise for
my
me will be
yeah. Go ahead.
when I get to be what age? What age
When
are
you
you?
get to be my age and you've got issues with cholesterol, and it's like, yeah, so it's time to
How
start
old are you,
getting on
Nana?
there. I will be 65 this November.
I'm 65 right now. I'm right where you're at, and I'm still not jogging or running on a fucking treadmill. That's just, I don't know.
But I'm enjoying
Well,
listening to the conversation. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you doing that, and I'll let you go back there and let you continue on the treadmill. And if I could get up right now, I might grab a donut. But
You enjoy your donut.
all right,
I've
thank you,
got a
Nana
doctor
Sandra.
yelling at me, so it's like, okay. Have a good night.
Oh, I got everybody yelling at me. I just don't listen. So,
Okay.
all right, thank you very much. Let's see who else we got out here. I know we've got a couple of people that we know. Okay, here's our own tropical storm, Sea Temptation.
Hey, Mike. Hey, guys.
Hey, C was just on the podcast a few nights ago, if I remember correctly. We had a chance to talk for a good while, so it's good to have you back, C.
Yeah, I appreciate it, though. I really enjoy it very much. And I miss my buddies also.
Well, there you go. Most of them are here. Rebecca's not here, but
Oh, okay.
and Will for some reason is having trouble getting in. I'm not sure what that's about, but
That's weird.
the rest of the folks, yeah, it is a little weird because he was here for a moment and then all of a sudden, poof, he's gone. Unless TJ blocked him or some shit.
Issues, I guess. I don't know.
I did not
Yeah.
block Will.
What you say,
Okay.
TJ?
Banned again.
I said I did not block Will. So
Oh,
No, but did he get another ban?
I don't know.
I hope not. I'm just surprised I haven't gotten one as yet. With the new, are you worried about the new community guidelines? You tend to be similar to me in terms of language and the things you say. Are you worried about that?
kind of, sort of, but basically where my main focus is at right now is on creating, developing my audience on YouTube, in case TikTok does go out, then I'll have a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing.
Yeah, because
For me,
they
if-
tripping. I don't know what's their problem.
Well, I know what the problem is they're trying to cut a deal with Donald Trump so they can stay in this country, and they're bending the knee temporarily. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to bend a knee temporarily or permanently. I'm going
Never.
to do what I do and let the chips fall where they may. And if they send me away, then I'm on YouTube, I'm on Spotify, I'm on Substack. There's plenty of places to find me. So I'm not really going to worry about it too much. I just want to get through this live so I can use it for the podcast and not have to do something fucking different afterwards.
I saw a video a couple of days ago what Hulk was doing. I think he said something to the effect that that Donald Trump and then his people is planning on eventually trying to go after the lefters. I don't know how true that is.
What are they going? Like I always say, were you going to sue me? Nothing's in my name anymore. I put it all in my kid's name. So
Wow.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Whatever.
What did you think about the Texas thing, Steve?
Especially what happened with Nicole, that didn't sit right with me at all. Because I'm like, because it is, I mean, if you think about it, it is a form of kidnapping and it is a form of racism. And that just, no.
See, you're
What
muffled.
Donald Trump doesn't understand is this: when it comes down to the midterms, that is handled on a state by state basis. He cannot change, he cannot eliminate the voting machines, and he sure as hell can't eliminate voting from home. That is out.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do about that.
No.
What you're talking about is he wanted to outlaw mail-in ballots
He do.
and machines, but it's very clear in the Constitution that all of those contests. I don't think we can even say the E word anymore. But all of those contests are run by the state. They're controlled by the state. So
Exactly.
either he's just talking out his ass or he doesn't understand what the rules are. And
I think
frankly, he's not the smartest.
I think he's scared because I really believe, I think he knows that his days are outnumbered.
Yeah.
Terrified.
Well, he's thinking about getting to heaven, so that makes you wonder.
I was about to bring that up too, because just from my religion, because I'm a Buddhist, when you're speaking about heaven, it's all about, what you put out there, about the law of cause and effect. What you put out there is going to come back to you. And it's not like, after when you die, you go to like this specific type eternal place. You can make your own heaven while you're here on earth.
Right.
Well, on one of my TikToks, I was talking about him talking about getting to heaven. I said, Donnie, you don't have to worry about that. Even if you put together that deal with Russia and Ukraine, which you aren't, because Vladimir Putin will never agree to anything. He doesn't want to end that thing. But even if you did, you got 78 years of crime, criminality, and corruption.
Exactly.
And I just wanted to give him this bit of advice. When you go to the beyond, after this spot, when you go to the beyond, I just want to give Donald Trump a heads up. When you see that light, go the fuck away from it, because that's a hoax. That's fake news. That's not the place you want to go. Do not go toward the light.
Hey, I'm not.
I don't know where he's going,
My
but
thing is, like I said, he had a chance to get it right while he's still on Earth, but we all know, based upon his past, he's nothing but a fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And he's
It's
going to
too late.
continue to
It's
fuck
too
up
late for
until
that.
he closes his eyes.
Right. What were you saying, old soul?
Donald Trump, he walking around like he casket ready. Like, have you seen him? He just like
Pretty much.
he's dressed for the occasion.
Casket ready.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get shot.
Do you
Sorry,
think
my bad. But that's what it looked like.
when he said that thing about heaven and all that stuff, people are saying, well, he knows something. He got some bad news from the doctor. And I just don't think Donald Trump is that self-aware. I think he truly believes he's immortal, that he will never go away, that he'll always be in power, he'll always be beloved, which he's not. But narcissists just don't believe that they can lose in any way. And I would think if he does what he needs to do to go to heaven, that would be the ultimate loss to him, because he would no longer have the power he thinks he has now. I just think he's confused. He reminds me of the old man in a nursing home that has a nurse walk in, and the old man says, "Mommy, is that you?" It's just, he just doesn't know what he's saying. He's just blurting out shit. And when people get in the mental state that he's in, they tend to change their personalities a little bit too. Sometimes they get more angry. Sometimes they get more docile. I don't know what's going to happen to Donald Trump, but he's certainly dramatically different from what he was before the election and back in 2020.
Well, you know what? Let me indicate on that, Mike, because that's what dementia patients does. Because when you're speaking on dementia, that's like a loss of memory. and they
Right.
convert back to, back to when they was a child, and back to their younger days. Because my mother had an episode one day where she told me, she said, I have 6 kids altogether. And I had to tell her, I said, no, Mom, you have 2 living children. She didn't believe me. She said, no, I
Really?
have 6. I said, so what are their names? She couldn't tell me. So, I really feel that those are the stages that he's going through. It's all part of the dementia.
Yeah, it's
He's
It's
making
sad, but
comments
it's the
about.
truth. What was you going to say, Tim?
Was him walking on the roof part of his dementia too? Because that was like, why was Secret Service letting him on the roof?
Baby, when you talk about dementia patients, they do some of the strangest stuff, and you be looking like, what the hell? They either say some of the strangest stuff or do some of the strangest stuff.
But
Or it could be the case, and with that scenario, could be he was just wandering.
what were you going to say, Eric?
Well, with him talking about wanting to get into heaven and stuff, from what I've seen, those types of comments, whether people are actively willing to admit that the end is near or not, that kind of talk comes out when people feel like the end is getting close.
Exactly.
Whether they will
Yeah.
openly admit it or not. I've had people who swore that they had 10 years left, and they start kind of making comments like that offhand every now and then, and suddenly their time comes pretty quick after. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with him, but subconsciously, I think his body is working against him here, and he's letting these things slip, whether he realizes what's going on, and he's like, well, he knows that his time is short, but I don't know if he makes it to the end of his term. I
Yeah,
really
well,
don't.
I don't see it either.
I really don't.
Those cankles are a telltale sign of the future of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah.
if you look at his swollen ankles and his hands, and the reason why I'm saying I have a relative that has this, those are signs of congestive heart failure. When I looked at the picture of his ankles, I said, no, that's congestive heart failure all the way.
I know what to get him for Christmas. On TikTok shop, you can get the diabetic socks. He definitely needs them.
Oh, you mean compression socks? Get the hell out of here.
Eric,
No, it's the other one. The diabetic socks are the ones with the loose tops, so you don't have the indentations on your legs. And
Oh,
he's definitely going to use them. I'm going to bring somebody else up here that we know. I'm sure she's going to have something to say. She generally does.
hey.
Hi.
Oliver's mom, what's up with you? What are you thinking about?
I was thinking about the claim that he has ended 7 wars.
Yeah, what is that about?
He has basically claimed that he has ended 7 different wars, and he's citing all kinds of different things. Something in
Well, I heard Carolyn
Africa.
Levitt. I heard Carolyn Levitt said it too. I saw her
Yeah.
do it in a video. I can't believe it's just unfair how people are treating him. He ended 7 wars. He didn't do jack shit. Every time he tried to this is what Donald Trump does. He sees something that may be working successfully and he jumps on board and he tries to take credit for it. That's what he's doing with TikTok. He saw something making money. He said, well, I'm going to jump in there and be the hero. But these 7 wars, that makes no sense. That's just gibberish.
Yeah, he says he solved 7 conflicts in 6 months, and it goes into
Where?
obviously he's talking about Ukraine and Russia being his final one that he's going to solve.
Where are the
What
other
about
fucking
Israel and
five?
Hamas?
Yeah, but see,
Was
that's
he
the
giving
thing. It
up
goes
on
back
Israel?
to say that he really hasn't, because they haven't seen a true end. There's no true conclusion. There might be a temporary ceasefire. There's several of them where he's threatened sanctions or tariffs, and they've stopped actions at the moment. I'm trying to find the list. I had the list up at one point. Oh, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. He claims to have done that one.
I heard that's off now. I heard they're back fighting again.
Yeah, they
I
are.
just heard that today.
Yeah. Serbia and Kosovo is another one that he says he's done.
Yeah.
Egypt and Ethiopia.
What?
Yep. India and Pakistan.
No, they already told him he's full of shit on that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Thailand and Cambodia.
No, it's
Wow.
still going on.
Israel and Iran.
Yeah, right.
Well, he started a war with Iran, so
Yeah, exactly.
that takes a strike away.
Right.
And
Okay,
Iran
It's
in Donald
isn't
Trump's
ever going to give up
in his
on their
defense,
nuclear
maybe he did
programs.
stop all these wars.
Yeah, they're never. he's
Maybe in
never
his
been-
mind, he did stop all of these wars.
Yes,
Well, in his mind, yeah.
yes, and he thinks he should get
Yeah.
the Nobel Peace Prize for all of these.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
Armenia and Azerbaijan is another one.
Wow.
Which he couldn't even pronounce he got the name wrong of which country he helped with that conflict. I saw something about that.
Yeah, and I mean it's crazy because after I read each one, it goes into say, well, no, one side says that he had nothing to do with it, that they're not listening to what he said, but the other side is giving him credit. It's like, well, that's because he's given the other side, the one side, no tariffs, and the other side he's put tremendous tariffs on to force them into the decision.
Well, this is a lot like the tariffs. He keeps talking about all these deals he cut. Funny thing is, none of these tariffs are down on paper. Donald Trump doesn't stick to what he says, so nobody's going to negotiate with him because whatever he says doesn't mean he's going to follow through with it. This is what Donald Trump does. He goes on the phone, he talks to somebody, he takes a little piece that he thinks is positive, and he comes back and tells us he won. This is what Donald Trump has done from the get-go. He tries to claim wins that aren't wins, and it's pretty pathetic, really, when you think about it. This guy is just doing everything he can to get wins because he's doing nothing but losing, and he can't win for fucking anything.
Right. And then I also heard
Did you guys see
that
did you see what Nutlick said?
Who?
When Nutlick said, I keep calling him Nutlick. What is his name?
Nutlick is the right name. Nutlick is the right name.
I don't know why. Every time I say, I'm not doing that on purpose. I swear. That's just.
No, it's the right
that's just
name.
how I
You got it right. Go on.
But did you guys
Lutnick?
see where he was interviewed and they were asking him, when are we going to see these deals on paper? And he said, you're not going to see any deals on paper. Why would Trump put deals on paper? Did y'all see that?
I didn't see that one, but it's not
Slap in the face
surprising.
right there by itself.
Donald Trump backs
Yeah,
out the
so
deals
we're
he
not
puts
gonna
on
see
paper. It
any-
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to
Never
see any deals on
documents
paper.
anything, but that's just him.
So,
Yeah, he think,
that's what Nutlick said.
not
and
like.
then the other one that goes along with ending all the wars is he claims that Hillary Clinton said he should get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, jeez.
If he stopped the war, yeah.
Yeah.
But he,
and
but-
didn't give up any property or land to Russia. Is the
But
other
the
part of it.
thing about it is Vladimir Putin has no motivation to end the war. He's in the same situation as Benjamin Netanyahu. He's been indicted for war crimes. His country is in a shambles, and if the war stops, he could ultimately be taken out of his position and go to jail. So, the only motivation for Vladimir Putin is to continue the war. So
Right.
Donald Trump can't figure this thing out. He can't put it together. The only thing that's going to happen, he's going to go to Zelensky. Zelensky's going to want some things. He's going to go to Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin's going to say no. And then while he's going back to Zelensky, Putin's going to bomb some more shit in Ukraine just to stick it in Donald Trump's face. He's not going to get a resolution to that, no matter how hard he tries. Even a brilliant negotiator probably couldn't get it done, and Donald Trump is far from brilliant.
Right. And many of the conflicts that he claims to have solved or resolved are decades old conflicts that aren't going to be solved in a month or 6 months or however many months he claims to have done this. They're just
Right.
not going to resolve that fast.
And let me just add, though, the relationship that he has with Putin, and I did a video on this, basically, he wants to continue his war because he doesn't want to help out, he wants to surrender.
Right,
and then-
right.
Yeah, because like I said, with Zelensky, when he was talking about giving up his portion of his country, he said, hell no. So you can tell
Yeah.
though that, like I said, he don't listen to Putin because Putin is a dictator.
Yeah, absolutely. We're coming close to the end here, and British John isn't out there, but based on a live I did with Trucker T for a while, I do have our show closer, and we'll pull her up, and let's see if she comes up. Oh, it doesn't look like she's coming up. Trucker T, it was Blue Moon.
Oh, she just left.
But she just left. Okay, I'm
Oh,
going to pull up one more person, and we'll see if this person comes up. Miki, I didn't see the whole thing. Miki, are you there?
Hey there, Boomer. How are you? Long time no see, my friend.
I'm doing great. What's on your mind tonight?
I sent you the files about Lindsey Graham. He did a
Oh
town
yeah,
hall,
yeah,
and
yeah.
have you taken a look at that? Because I thought, of all people, you could really. Yeah, go ahead.
I did briefly, but not as much as I need to. Why don't you explain to us what was in those files so everybody knows?
Well, Lindsey Graham did a really horrific job at it's a semi-town hall that he had, and he was asked questions about the economy, and instead of answering what he was going to do for the economy or what he was going to do, he just went on a rant at people. One woman asked about why he felt so joyous at getting rid of gender-affirming care, and he turned it into a question of how many of you are happy with boys in girls' bathrooms. And he literally did not answer the question. He just changed it into, her wanting boys and girls bathrooms and boys and girls sports, and that's not at all what she was asking. It was ridiculous.
And the ironic thing is, then he went home to his roommate and sat on the couch in a bustier and a hoop skirt. So that's fucking weird that he would be worried about bathrooms.
Yeah, but the point is, it was disingenuous. It was just. I was so disappointed because we all know he's an intelligent person. He may not have a backbone, but he does have intellect to a certain extent. And he did not answer the question. He gaslit her. He tried to get the room up to support him when it was uncomfortable. So,
Yeah. But that's so typical of him. He'll go one way and then he'll go another way. He's constantly trying to ride the fence. And 1 minute he's supporting Donald Trump, the next minute he's going against Donald Trump. He's so wishy-washy about everything. I don't know how he gets reelected. He's a weirdo. He can't get any kind of traction on who he is or what he believes. Back when McCain was alive, they were best buddies, and that made some sense. But as soon as Donald Trump came in, he lost his shit and went fucking goofy.
Yep. Oh, he did. But I just thought it was the worst thing I've seen from him. One of the worst behaviors I've seen from him. So I hope you'll take a look at it.
I will definitely take a look at it more in depth, and depending on what I see and what I feel I'm going to say, we'll see if TikTok will allow it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us, and feel free to join us again anytime. I tell you what, I got time for one more. And I'm going to cut it off right about an hour and a half, only because of what the situation is with TikTok and the community guidelines. I want to get while the getting's good, and we've done pretty well so far. All right, I'm pulling up a woman by the name of Sandria. How are you doing today? What's on your mind? Sandria?
Nope.
I guess not.
Hey, Mike, while you're pulling up the next person, let me tell you this.
I'm not going to pull up another person. We'll just talk amongst ourselves.
Okay, so let me tell you this. Putin is not trying to stop a war. He's too busy trying to find somebody to rebuild his nose hairs after the ride he had inside of the beach.
Well,
He's trying to build his what?
Nose hairs. Trying to get his nose hairs back from riding inside the beast with Trump.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
did you guys notice?
I got you.
Did you guys notice that Donald Trump didn't say fuck all about anything about the mail-in ballots or any of this shit until after he met with Putin?
Yeah, it's interesting.
That is very.
Well, it goes to the point where people seem to think that Putin has something on Donald Trump and that he's holding it over his head. That's why he bends and scrapes every time. And under normal circumstances, I said, well, probably not. But this is a KGB agent.
Right.
He knows how to play Donald Trump. He's played him like a fiddle for 10 years, and he's doing it now. And either Donald Trump is scared or too stupid to realize it.
Right, exactly. But Donald Trump is not smart enough to know anything about mail-in ballots or any of that shit. So my suspicion is that that whole guise about meeting with Putin about Ukraine was more about him trying to get a one-on-one with Putin and talk privately about the midterm elections coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, he is definitely fangirling over Putin. I don't know what it is about him that he loves so much, but clearly Putin has an impact in the idea that he brought him to this country, gave him the red carpet treatment. That was one of the most embarrassing moments in this country's history. It really was. And I think when people look back in history, they're going to realize that, including Republicans.
Yeah, well, he's got tapes.
Fucking drunk driver going down that fucking red carpet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he looked like...
Well, Mike, no, I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you guys know, but Mike knows. I watch Russian TV. And it's no secret in Russia that Putin is not trying to make a deal with Trump at all. They report on it as Putin's strength and all that other crap. However, I did learn stuff watching them. Like, they actually said how many times an American president has rolled out the red carpet for someone. They point out the fact that he doesn't do it for anybody else. They were also saying how Putin and Trump was in the beast by themselves with no interpreters. And they were saying that Donald Trump knows that Putin speaks English. And I kind of caught that when Putin was at the summit, and he was like, next time you come to my country. And I'm like, oh, so he do speak English. And so he's around Donald Trump without even interpreters. And we have no idea what they're talking about.
Right. That's
but it's not a secret. They know. They call him stupid. They call him arrogant. There's a whole it's called, I think, Russian Media Monitor. They have a segment on there, and the title of the segment is MAGA Made an Error with Trump. And they point out all the stuff that he's doing to MAGA, but they frame it as like he's doing this to his own people type stuff. It's not a secret that Putin ain't trying to work with Trump at all. This is not happening.
Well, Putin speaks better English than Trump does.
My big question is, does the beast have an air exchange system that can manipulate Donald Trump's fucking loaded diaper?
It does not.
Well,
is inside of the
The other thing is I hope they have leather interior, because otherwise they're going to need to put plastic down like Grandma did on the fucking couch. It's just, yeah, it's disgusting to even think about it. And I don't know how people stand close to him, because what we've heard about the smell, that's a real thing. Real people have said it. They've experienced it. And Donald Trump doesn't seem to have any discretion. He shits his pants at will.
Did you see the picture with him Putin holding his nose? Did you see that?
Oh,
I saw that.
see, I'm waiting for somebody to gag, to gag, in the videos behind him or something like that.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. Well, I'm going to wrap things up for the Rational Boomer podcast to end the live. Oliver's mom, thank you for showing up. Old Soul, get back to me when you get back in town, and we'll do something on the podcast. Trucker T, check him out on the on TikTok. TJ the Plumber. Go into any Trumplafuck Live, and TJ will be fucking with people. So check him out there. Analytical Iowan, Eric, he's on YouTube and he's on TikTok. Check him out. If you're not checked him out, I don't know what the fuck you're thinking here. See Temptation. You've got a podcast on YouTube, right?
Yeah, the political discussion is on YouTube and Instagram.
Okay. And you're on
subscribe.
TikTok too as well. You're on
Yeah, I'm on
TikTok as well.
too. But yeah, the main one I'm focusing on the most is on YouTube. Please subscribe.
Absolutely. Thanks to all of you guys for showing up. For all the other people that participated, all the people just listened. I appreciate you all. I'm so glad that we got through this without getting taken down. So that's amazing. It's amazing. All of you listening, thanks for taking the time. I hope you have a great night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.